Hey everybody, Basic Eric again, and we're coming back to work on this guy today. So I'm going to weld up that little tab on the inside that we talked about last time and get this thing ready for some short strand fiberglass. I think it's probably about that time. Deciding what I'm going to do here, if I'm going to split this metal and weld it or just build it up with some filler. I haven't decided yet. Look at that some more, but that's the plan for today. So we're gonna get started. Alright, so I've been working on this a little bit, a little more time spent on this filler panel trying to get it all leveled out and clean. Tried to center it a little bit more so there's not as much of a gap on this side. It's a little better now. I just put the weather stripping back in here, and this thing's sitting up pretty high now, you can see. So I think that's too high. I'm not sure how much the weather stripping is gonna shrink down, but that's quite a bit. It's supposed to be more like that down there. You see how much that's moving. I can't even close the thing without slamming it, so it's got a lot of cushion on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the body work without the weather stripping in there. As I mentioned in another video, this deck lid has a little bit of spring on it from the hinges, so it doesn't really want to sit all the way closed anyway. So it's kind of sitting up on the latch anyhow. So I think it's going to be okay, but it's just too high here otherwise, so I don't think that's right. So I'm going to take the weather stripping back out and do it that way. Alright, so I've got this thing in the right place. I want to tack it in place while it's on the car so this thing doesn't move when I weld it. So I got a piece of 1/8 welding rod. Just going to tack it right there in that corner. This is going to be a little tricky because I can't get any kind of grinder or anything in there to clean that up. So I'm just trying to think what I want this shape to look like, and I might just build it all up with fiberglass filler or something to, I don't know, we'll see. I'm just going to weld it and then we'll take it from there. Alright, so here's where we ended up there. It's not a particularly beautiful piece of work, but I think it'll do. And then I'm going to fill the rest of that up with short strand fiberglass and try and contour it and make it look a little nicer. I sandblasted it just because there's not really any way to sand down inside there, so go ahead and guess I'll do that first, just whip up a little bit of short strand, then I'll put it back in the car and then I'll start working on the rest of it. Alright, here you can see that weld I did there. Again, it's not perfect, but I think it'll be fine. I've masked off the whole trunk area here up along the bottom of that filler panel. See, I left about that much there all the way around. I'll show you here. That may not work. I have to go down a little further than that. The idea was I don't want the filler going way down inside there. I don't think that's going to cut it, so let's take that off. Alright, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and put short strand fiberglass over all the bare metal spots you see here. I'm going to try and level this edge off here, and then see if I can fill this in a little bit right here. Hit my quarter panel again. Dang. Anyway, let's go ahead and mix up some fiberglass and I'll show you what we're talking about. We're going to try this trick I saw on Hands on Cars with Kevin Tetz on Z sled. So this gap right there, after you put the fiberglass in, and you run this through the gap there to trim off the excess fiberglass. See how that goes? Alright, let's mix it up. Well, I don't think that was a great wipe, but hopefully it'll be a good enough foundation. Got a little chunky right there at the end. I didn't end up putting a lot of material inside here, just a hair. I ran this guy through here. I don't know. When Kevin did it in his video, it looked like he was cutting straight down. So I wonder if they built this edge up this way and then cut it down as opposed to keeping that angle like I have there, which I didn't want to do because the trunk lid does open up like this and I didn't want it chipping that. So It seemed like when I ran this across here it was pretty level, so it may be these two are actually in pretty good shape here, and there's not going to be a lot of filler on that edge. That would be nice. So we'll see. We're going to let this tack up for a few minutes, and then we'll start running the blocks over it and see what it looks like. So we actually did pretty good on that first wipe. I got to come back and hit a few spots that are a little low. This area in through here is a little bit of a dip still, so I'm going to put another layer across there. Just a few little low spots along here. Overall, it came out pretty nice though for just the first wipe, so pretty happy about that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the next wipe on it now. Alright, there's the second wipe. Hopefully the last wipe. And just a few little spots here and there. I've never tried this trick with the tape before, so this will be fun when I take all this apart to see how well I can get this stuff out with the tape. Again, I'm not going to leave that edge like that. I'm going to sand a little gap back into it, but I just wanted to get it started there. Just know where the line should be. Anyway, so we'll let that cure up, and then we'll go hit this. Alright, I'll show you where we ended up. It's pretty nice, I would say. This edge is looking real good here. You can see there's not a whole lot of filler on here. It's a little thicker here than I'd like, but it's not much. It's pretty thin. I've got a nice flat surface there for the most part. It's got a little bit of a concavity to it, but that's okay. I think it's fine. Let me pop the trunk now and see if I can get this panel back out. That's going to be the fun part. Yeah, it came right out, no problems. So the tape trick worked. This side's not bad. There's not a lot of fiberglass on this side. The other's got a little bit more than I'd like. But this panel doesn't come out, so it's not going to be moving there. So you guys let me know what you think. If you think this is okay. There's really not very much there. I can always redo this and do that with metal. Stuff that fell down in there. Actually, I didn't scuff that back there, so popped right off. I'll show you the other side. This side you can see it's a little worse. I mean, I will come back and put more fiberglass to finish this off. It's not just going to stay that way, but there's not a lot there. You see it's only about a 1/16 of an inch, I think. There's not too much. But let me know what you think of that. As I said before, I keep chewing up my quarter panels here, so definitely going to have to rework this. Take a look at this edge here. I haven't sanded down the bottom yet. Let me know what you think of this. Looks pretty nice, I think. And again, there's not a lot of fiberglass on there. You see it's nice and straight. So when I do the bottom, I'll run a piece of tape on the inside of this, where the skin is rolled over right there, and then I'll run the fiberglass down that edge there. It really only needs just on that outer edge right there, but just to keep any fiberglass from getting in here. And that's it. See, this side's got a lot more goop built up on it here, but I'm liking it. I think it came out pretty good. So I don't have a whole lot more. Yeah, look at this. Real lot got away from me there. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot left to do on this deck lid here. So this about covers it for the short strand. So next I'll go through and find any dents and things that need to be filled. It felt like there was a low spot in here somewhere. Maybe even where that thing is. I don't know. So I may have to do a little work on that. But everything else is going pretty nice. You can see here I had to re-drill some holes and things because that panel didn't fit where the factory one did. So lots of re-drills. So I'll weld all that stuff up when I'm done. Anywho, that's going to do it for today. So thanks everybody. If you have any comments or thoughts on what you saw today, let me know, and see if I need to change something or if it's okay and keep on going where we're going. Thanks everybody. Bye.